The most dangerous jealous person is not the one who insults you to your face. The most dangerous person is the one who smiles, looks concerned, and then asks one question that makes you start doubting yourself. They do not need to sabotage you with some big action. They only need to ruin your joy in the exact moment when you should have felt proud. And the scary part is, many times, you even think they are just worried about you. You just got something new, and they ask, "How did you afford that?" You just want to start a new plan, and they ask, "Are you sure you can handle that?" You finally feel a little more confident, and they say, "You've been acting different lately." It sounds normal. But after those sentences, you feel your joy drop. You feel like you have to explain yourself. You have to lower your voice. You have to make your achievement smaller so someone else can feel more comfortable. This is the trap. Jealous people do not always want you to fail publicly. Sometimes they only want you to not be too happy, not too bright, not too confident, not too far beyond the old version of you they were used to seeing. They do not say, "I am uncomfortable because you are becoming better." They say, "I was just asking." But that question drains your energy for the entire day. The first question usually appears when you have something nicer than before, a new pair of shoes, a new phone, an outfit you really like, a trip you gave yourself after many days of hard work. You are happy. You want to share it. Then they look at you and ask, "Oh, how did you afford that?" Or, "Wow, you must be rich lately, huh?" It sounds like a joke, but the truth is, they are not congratulating you. They are going straight into your wallet. The problem is not the question. The problem is the energy behind the question. Someone who truly cares about you will say, "That looks nice. It really suits you." A jealous person makes you feel like you just did something wrong, and if you are not aware, you will immediately start explaining. "I got it on sale. I saved up for it for a long time. It was not that expensive. Do you see that?" You just made your own joy smaller. Do not turn your reward into a financial statement. You do not owe anyone an explanation for using your own money to buy something that makes you happy. You do not need to prove that you deserve it. You do not need to make your achievement sound cheaper just so someone else can feel more comfortable. The way to respond is very simple. You do not need to get tense. You do not need to over-explain. Just say, "I earned it, so I treated myself." Or, "I liked it, so I bought it." And then stop there. The more you explain, the more you open the door for them to dig deeper. Someone who is truly happy for you will understand. A jealous person is only looking for a reason to dim your joy. If you have ever had to explain too much just because you bought something you liked, comment 1. If you are realizing that someone once made you feel guilty for your own happiness, comment 2. The second question is more dangerous because it often disguises itself as concern. You want to change jobs, you want to learn a new skill, you want to start your own channel, you want to start a business, you want to move into a better environment. You share it with excitement, and they immediately ask, "Are you sure that's a good idea?" Or, "Do you really think you can handle that?" Just one sentence, but it pulls you from hope straight down into fear. You were seeing possibility. Suddenly you only see risk. You had motivation. Suddenly you feel inexperienced. You start asking yourself, "What if I am being unrealistic? What if I am not good enough? What if I should just stop?" And that is exactly what they want. Someone who truly cares will ask about your plan. They will ask what you have prepared. They may point out the risks, but they will also help you find a way to handle them. But a jealous person only drops a seed of doubt into your mind and then walks away. They do not help you become clearer. They only make you more afraid. Why do they do that? Because when you dare to step forward, you remind them that they are still standing still. When you dare to try, you expose the things they never dared to do. They do not want to call it jealousy, so they call it being realistic. They do not want to admit they are scared, so they make you scared with them. Do not let someone else's fear become your prison. You can listen to advice, but do not hand over the decision-making power of your life to someone who does not dare to live their own. When they ask, Are you sure? Say, I have thought it through and I still want to try. Or, I would rather try and learn than stand still and regret it. The third question usually attacks your growth. You start dressing better. You speak more clearly. You know how to say no. You no longer accept being disrespected like before. And someone starts saying, you've changed a lot lately. So now you think you're better than everyone? You're not the same person anymore. This sentence hurts because it makes you feel guilty. You start asking yourself if you are arrogant, if you are becoming distant, if you are overreacting. Then you want to go back to the old version of yourself, the version that was easier for other people to deal with, even though that version hurt you deeply. But ask yourself clearly, why does your growth make them uncomfortable? If you were getting worse, would they react that strongly? If you were still silent, still enduring, still letting them cross your boundaries, would they say you had changed? Maybe what they miss is not the real you. Maybe what they miss is the version of you they could control. A jealous person wants you to return to the old image, the version that doubted itself, the version that laughed things off when being insulted, the version that accepted less than what it deserved. When you are no longer that person, they lose their old position in your life. So they call your growth arrogance. It is not that you changed for the worse. Maybe you are simply no longer as easy to control as before, and that will make some people uncomfortable. Let them be uncomfortable. You do not need to go back to a smaller version of yourself just to prove that you are still a good person. You only need to say, yes, I am growing, or I like who I am now more. Someone who truly cares about you will learn to respect the new version of you. A jealous person wants you to return to the place where they could still look down on you without being challenged. If you have ever been made to feel guilty just because you were becoming better. Comment 1. If this part reminds you of someone who always gets uncomfortable whenever you become more confident, comment 2. The fourth question usually appears when you dare to shine. You post a small achievement, you dress nicely for a party, you share a happy moment, you talk about something you are proud of. And someone asks, do you really need to make such a big deal out of it? Why do you like attention so much? Why do you always have to post everything? This question is toxic because it makes you start censoring your own joy. The next time something good happens, you hide it. The next time you dress nicely, you feel embarrassed. The next time you achieve something, you post it and then delete it. You are afraid people will say you are showing off, afraid of being judged, afraid that you are too much in someone else's eyes. But remember this, many times you are not doing too much. You are simply living more visibly than before. You are not too bright. Your light is simply exposing a darkness they do not want to look at. You are not too happy. Your joy simply reminds them of something missing in their own life. You are not showing off. You are just no longer hiding yourself to be liked. A jealous person does not want you to disappear completely. They only want you to stay small enough so they do not feel threatened, quiet enough so they do not feel inferior, humble enough so they do not have to face the fact that you are truly moving forward. They call it advice, but the truth is, they are asking you to dim your light. You were not born to live as a lowered version of yourself. If you are happy, be happy. If you are proud, be proud. If you want to share, share, not to prove anything to anyone, but because you have the right to exist fully in your own life. When someone says you are doing too much, calmly respond, I am just happy. Or, I do not feel the need to apologize for this. Then, keep going. Someone who truly supports you will not ask you to dim your light. They will be happy with you, or at least respect your joy. The fifth question sounds the most polite, but sometimes it erases your effort the most. You accomplish something big. You finish a project. You receive praise. You get promoted. You create a result that even you once doubted you could create. Then they ask, who helped you do this? Or, you must have had a lot of support behind the scenes, right? Of course, receiving help is not wrong. Everyone needs support sometimes. But the problem is, they do not acknowledge you first. They do not say, you did a great job. They do not say, I can see how much effort you put into this. They immediately look for someone else behind your achievement, as if you could not possibly have done it yourself. That is how jealous people erase you from your own success. In their mind, you are still the old version, not skilled enough, not sharp enough, not worthy enough. Do not rush to erase yourself just to seem humble. You can be grateful for the people who supported you and still own your effort. You can say, "I did learn from others, but I also put a lot of work into this result." Or, "Thank you, I really worked hard for this." Short, calm, clear. Humility does not mean denying yourself. You do not need to hand all the spotlight to someone else just because you are afraid of being seen as arrogant. Your effort was real. The nights when you were tired but kept going were real. The times you learned, fixed things, failed, and tried again were real. Do not let a question pretending to be casual make you doubt that. If someone has ever made you feel like your achievement was not truly yours, comment 1. If you are starting to understand that owning your credit is not arrogance but fairness to yourself, comment 2. What do these 5 questions have in common? They all pull you out of pride and push you into defense. You are happy, then you have to explain. You are determined, then you have to doubt yourself. You are growing, then you have to apologize. You are shining, then you have to shrink. You are succeeding, then you have to share the credit just to make someone else comfortable. So from today on, do not just listen to the question. Pay attention to how you feel after the question. After that person speaks, do you feel stronger or smaller, clearer or more confused, supported or pulled down? Your body often recognizes disrespect before your mind can justify it. Not everyone who asks a difficult question is jealous. Some people truly care. Some people truly want you to be safe. But someone who truly cares will stay with you and help you find a way. They ask to understand. They give feedback to help you become steadier. A jealous person asks to shake you, then leaves you alone with the fear they just planted in your mind. So the next time you hear a question that ruins your joy, do not react immediately. Pause for a second. Take a breath. Ask yourself, is this person trying to understand me or trying to dim me? Are they helping me become more certain or planting doubt and walking away? That one pause is enough to stop you from falling into the trap. You do not need to attack them. You do not need to prove yourself to them. You do not need to become cold. You only need to hold steady inside yourself. Your joy does not need their approval. Your dream does not need their permission. Your growth does not need their recognition to have value. Because the truth is, jealous people cannot take your success unless you hand them the key. They can ask. They can make little remarks. They can pretend to care. But they cannot make you smaller unless you agree to shrink. You are not alive to become proof of someone else's insecurity. So keep rewarding yourself with what you deserve. Keep trying the things that make your life bigger. Keep setting boundaries. Keep growing. Keep posting what you are proud of, wearing what makes you feel beautiful, and speaking in a clearer voice. And when you accomplish something big, receive the credit with both hands. If you realize that these seemingly harmless questions have once stolen your joy, comment 1. If you are starting to understand that not every question that sounds caring actually comes from love, comment 2. And if this video helped you see a very hard to recognize type of person more clearly, like, subscribe, and wait for the next video. Because in the next video you may recognize an even more uncomfortable truth. Sometimes the person who makes you doubt yourself the most is not the one who openly hates you. It is the person standing very close to you, smiling, and saying they only want what is best for you.